Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Jess. So Bitcoin has continued to tumble downwards throughout the week, going as low as 78,000 just yesterday. This morning though, we've seen a massive bounce of nearly 8%, sending the price well back above 80,000. We're going to dive into the video today to talk about the recent developments on Bitcoin's price action and what they mean, including the possibility for this bounce to mark a local bottom for Bitcoin and what we need to confirm that. Before we dive in, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Wednesday and Saturday, and join my free Telegram if you're after more regular updates. If you're a trader and you're interested in my VIP channel, message me on Telegram to get more details about it. VIP gives you exclusive access to my personal trading setups with exact entry points, targets, and stop losses. Jumping into the charts, guys, let's talk about the recent price action before we dive into our analysis. So off the bat, we can see it's been a pretty insane week. Bitcoin has dropped a long way. We started the week around a $96,000, and yesterday we tumbled all the way down to 78,000, totaling a 20% drop for the week so far. We've still got 2 days left till the candle close. Now, if we take a look at market data, we can see 24-hour volume is still relatively high. Open interest is low as expected after all the recent crashing, and 24-hour liquidations have continued to rise over the last couple of days. If we take a look at the liquidations map, it's been steadily high across the entirety of the week. I want to say we're probably close to around at least 4 billion in total for the week so far, including short and long liquidations. So it's been a massive week. The weekly candle close is very, very close. And after such a massive crash, we can see that we've almost completely moved throughout the entirety of the volume gap that we had here on the weekly time frame. Now it ends around $76,000 to $74,000 with pretty perfect confluence at our 50 EMA on the weekly time frame, as well as this prior high at $74,000 or $74,200. And we're getting very, very close to the end of that volume gap. And as well, we can see very recently in the price action, Bitcoin has actually managed to establish a very strong bounce from that local low at 78,000. And it's time to potentially look for the possibility of establishing a proper local bottom and signifying that the price for the time being should be, seeing some sort of reversal. We are not going to go lower than 78,000. So let's dive into the video today and talk about all of that, starting off on the daily candle close and then zooming into the smaller timeframes. So starting off our analysis on the daily time frame, let's talk about this most recent couple of daily candle closes. So on Thursday, we actually printed a bullish candle here. It was green. It wasn't particularly strongly bullish. We didn't engulf the prior candle or anything like that, but we can see it was the first green candle that Bitcoin had printed in, I think, 6 or 5 days, right? And it was quite important because it showed us that we did have a lot of support and buying pressure at that sort of low here at $82,000, and we went all the way up to retest resistance at 87 to 89,000 that day as well. Unfortunately though, the buyers did exhaust here. If you zoom in the short time frames, we can see a massive amount of bearish divergence, and that ended up leading to the correction there, and then we continued to fall throughout Friday until we retested 78,000. But if we take a look at this most recent close, what's really important about it is that despite the fact that we went down to 78,000, the price is actually retraced and closed all the way back up to the prior opening price for the day before. And it's essentially showing us, in terms of like the story of the buyers and sellers, showing us pretty much the equivalent of we've established support, mass liquidity event. Potentially there were too many longs being positioned at this level, mass liquidity event, buyers exhausted, and then we ended up closing back above support, right? That's essentially what they're showing us. And so it confirms, or it begins to confirm, that Bitcoin has established some sort of short time frame support here at 84 to 84.5 thousand and a potential local bottom. Now, usually with these sort of doji candles as well, the dragonfly doji, it doesn't necessarily always mark a reversal. The candle following it generally confirms what that doji ends up meaning. So for example, if we print a doji candle, the next one following is a red candle, right? Particularly if it's sort of like that reverse where we've tried to go up, rejected back downwards, and the close was bearish. That generally leads to a continued bearish descent. Otherwise though, if we print a green candle following that doji, it generally tends to signal at the beginning of a reversal and a bullish move upwards. Now, all that really does depend then on the next 24 hours of price action and what we see developing on these shorter time frame charts. So would I necessarily take a look at this daily chart and say that the charts are looking bullish and we're going up from here? No, definitely not. We need to see more, and I'll talk about that and expand on in this video. And also, we can't negate the fact that on the daily time frame, we have very clearly fallen below the 200 EMA, which I noted in my last video was a pretty big warning sign, as generally falling below the 200 EMA marks a prolonged period of downwards price action with small deviations back above that never really sustain, right? It's not until we bottomed out in the last bear market at 16,000 that we consistently remained back above the 200 EMA for a prolonged period of time. And also, let's not forget that on the 3-day time frame, our most recent 3-day candle close wasn't the most bullish as well. If we head over to the 3-day chart and take a look at the Gaussian channel, we have fallen into the Gaussian channel and below the 50 EMA, which once again was a warning sign in 2021, both here, and that led to quite a large correction, and in this case, a continuation on the higher time frame of a bearish descent for Bitcoin. So just to make sure that that's out there, I don't want to cause any confusion. The charts are definitely not looking bullish, right? We have multiple warning signs printed across the daily, 3-day, and the weekly time frame that Bitcoin's not headed in a particularly great direction right now, and there is a much high likelihood on the daily time frame, unless this next 24 hours is bullish, that Bitcoin continues this downwards descent, falls below the midline here, and throughout the rest of this volume gap at $76,000 and $74,000. But just because one thing looks one way right now doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay that way, right? In the next 24 hours, if the next 24 hours are green, there is a possibility here that we have established a local bottom, considering we're at support at the midline of the Gaussian channel, and we have developed a short time frame support on the daily chart. So with all that in mind, let's jump into these shorter time frame charts and talk about what we actually need to see in this bounce to, I guess, signal that bullish continuation potential. So zooming into the hourly chart, we can see that across this bounce here, as we saw on the daily time frame, Bitcoin has gone on to recover the levels we saw at the opening price for our prior daily candle. And at this level, we have seen a fair bit of support, right? We've got 1 point of retest, 2, we fell below, that was our sort of deviation on the high time frame, and we are consistently holding that level over the last couple of hours, even with a little bit of hidden bullish divergence as well. We've got lower peaks on the RSI, suggesting an increase in selling pressure, and yet the buyers are absorbing that. We've got 2 high highs here on the price action, just very slightly. So there is clearly a lot of demand for Bitcoin and a lot of support for Bitcoin at this sort of $84,000 region. But we haven't seen enough yet on these charts to suggest a change of character. So what we actually need here to push these short time frame charts to being bullish is for Bitcoin to push above the prior high in our short time frame downtrend, and that sits at $87,000. If we're able to push above that very first change of character level, we should see a move to establish it as a support, and then next up we have that next level of resistance at $90,000, which also currently has confluence with the 200 EMA on the hourly time frames. So all of that should be enough to push the daily candle, the next one, to be quite bullish and send Bitcoin in a short time frame bullish trajectory and flip those higher time frame charts to having a sort of, slightly more bullish trajectory, establishing a local bottom there. Otherwise though, if Bitcoin falls below this level of support currently at 84,000, let's put that away, and sells our liquidity here at 82,000, it is likely then that the bearish case scenario plays out instead. So that means a tumble back down to 78,000 to retest that level, and if we lose that low, the continuation towards 76 and 74 should begin. Alrighty guys, that is a wrap on the analysis today. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. If you guys liked the video or you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to get regular Bitcoin analysis every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And join my free Telegram channel for more regular updates. If you're a trader and you're interested in my VIP channel, don't forget to contact me on Telegram for more details. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!